Hello, 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 and welcome to The Tea. I am Sybil, your owner and host here at Millspau's Conversations, The Tea, and we are ready to dive right into our talk today. But you know what? We're going to do something a little different. We are going to have a little chit chat that I've called What?
I love it.
I had to have Grace sitting in the back on the backstage for a few minutes, like wondering, like, what the heck is she about to say about this? You didn't know anything about the what?
No, I had no idea.
Girl, look, I thought about that literally like 10 minutes ago. I was like, we're gonna make that a little chit chat session.
I like it.
So, Grace, my friend, how have you been?
I have been good. I have been baking a lot lately. Yeah, so I've been keeping busy with that and just everyday life stuff. How about you, Sybil?
Girl, oh sorry. I have been I've been trying to survive the tickety talk, the tickety talk saga. That's what I've been.
Girl,
Actually, no,
it's too much.
I'm just kidding. I was asleep. I slept through the whole bam, blackout, whatever people were calling it.
Yeah, it was craziness. I wasn't on my phone. I was like sitting on the couch and then I was looking at recipes and I was gonna go like search one of my recipes on TikTok and then it like popped up that like whatever, we apologize, we're working to get it back, but US can no longer have TikTok. And I was like, oh, it's legit, I guess. And then not even like 12 hours later, I saw someone else post on Facebook being like, my TikTok's back. I was like, oh my gosh. Here we
It's
go.
like what?
Yeah.
You know what though? It was funny because during this whole saga, it was like almost. I guess it happened. What the morning? Your morning time, right?
It was 8:30 p.m. my time, Mountain Time, when I received the message. Which was weird because everybody was like, it's not even the 20th yet. I don't know. It was a whole thing. Or 19th, whatever day it was.
Yeah.
But it's back. Who cares?
It's back. That's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. But I think because here in Bahrain, I was going to bed. Yeah, I slept through it. I slept through the majority of it. And it's like, oh, what happened? Uh-oh. Hold on. Tiana wants to leave. Sorry, folks. But you know what? Can you hear me, Grace?
Yes, I can hear you.
Problem is, my husband just came home from work, so Tiana has to go
She has to go say hi.
Yeah. She doesn't get this excited about me, but yeah. But our topic for today is, do words hurt? You know, the whole saying sticks and stones may break your bones, do work, but oh Lord. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. I want to dig into that a little bit. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, hold on. We do have to pause and give a special shout out to our sponsor, USAA. Did you know they have a military spouse resource hub? Did you know that? To learn how USAA can help you navigate the ins and outs of military life, just go ahead and scan that QR code right there. I'm like, can you see me pointing to it? And it'll take you right to their military spouse resource hub. So scan it and get all the good tea. But let's talk about this. Do words hurt? I have a quick video for us. If I can.
Hi guys, I'm Helen, and today I'm going to be talking about if words hurt and do people's opinions matter. Yes, I believe people's words do hurt depending on who the person is in what they say and how they say it. It's always about not what you say, but how you say it. People's opinions, I think, again, it also just depends on the person. I feel like if the person's just already a hater and they have nothing going for themselves, you can tell when someone's just hating on you rather than actually looking out for you. If they're just already like, then nah, like it really doesn't matter. But if it's like, hey, da da da, this and that, I'll take the advice. And for me, it's always be yourself, be who you want to be. Don't let anybody try to stop your identity.
So, Grace, what are your thoughts on what our junior tea spiller Helen had to say there about the words hurt?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's dependent on who's saying them. Because like a stranger's coming up and like telling me something, I'm gonna brush it off. I don't know you, your words don't really have any backing to it. But like if it was like my husband or my sister or I don't know, a close friend, someone that's like really involved in my life and know me, like actually know me, and they say something, I mean, probably hurt a lot more than I would think it would. So yeah, I think it depends on the person. I guess the blanket statement is yes, words can hurt. However, it depends on the person that they're coming from.
I agree with you there, girlfriend. Because look, being on social media, being an entrepreneur, here at Millspouse Conversations, we haven't received a lot of nasty words, but we've received a few. We have. And there's only been one that hurt me to the core. It was from a stranger. Some folks could say, oh, it was a troll, whatever. But I feel like this, troll or not, there's someone who really feels this way. And the one comment that hurt me the most, and it just stung me to my core. It was last year. The comment. I actually did a newsletter. So if you receive our newsletter, I did send out a newsletter blast about it. But it was the person claimed to be a veteran, but they did not want to support or have anything to do with Millspouse Conversations because they could not support a business who used minorities in their marketing campaigns. And I was like, well, we just don't use minorities in our marketing campaign. Millspouse Conversations is owned and operated by minorities. But those words hurt me to the core for other reasons. Now, there was another comment, which I said I was actually going to put it up for a poll. So I didn't last year, but we're going to go ahead and put it up for a poll now. So for our viewers who are watching, because last year, Grace, we were asking our viewers to ask us questions, give us a topic, we would discuss it. So I'm trying to find my chat. Okay. So do words hurt? A viewer said to kick me off the show because my voice was annoying. It said, Sybil needs to go because Sybil's voice is annoying. Okay. Are those words supposed to hurt me? But ironically, that was a comment left on an episode where I was talking about being self-conscious about the way I sound when I speak, that I still hear a slur, and there's sometimes a disconnect when I speak since my stroke. And I was like, well, I mean, my voice has nothing to do with how my words sound, but okay. I actually laughed about it, and I did respond back, and I said, I will gladly take a poll. So for our viewers right now, is my voice annoying? Because I want to give feedback to this particular viewer who said that. I know they said it wanting to hurt me. Those words didn't hurt me at all. It was actually comical. But anywho, focus, Sybil, focus. But words can hurt. And I will say that sometimes the lack of words hurt too. Like when you talk to family and friends, like strangers, whatever. But when you talk to family or friends about something that is bothering you, and there's a lack of compassion, like I'm like, whoa, that hurts. That stuns more than the words that you said to me. Or
Yeah, I get that. But I think you also have to take things with a grain of salt all the time because you don't know what someone else is going through in their life either. And it may just be coming out that way because that's what they're going through or what they're feeling or they're self-conscious about those things themselves. Now, it's not saying that it's right for them to say certain things or say them a certain way, but we are all human and we all reflect what's on the inside, and when we're not in a good space, then that can come out towards other people. And so I don't think our words are always going to be perfect, and they don't always have the intention to hurt either, but I think sometimes it just falls in that category. But for the trolls and everybody out there, those are haters. Their words absolutely don't count. So
yeah, they absolutely do not. And look, Miss Nye over here, Miss Nye Cruz, who is on vacation somewhere, I guess. No, I'm just joking. Words usually don't hurt me, and when they do, I have to stop and do a self-check to see where I feel the hurt and what kind of healing I can do to short that. Yes. And yeah, forget that person. They're just mad because they don't have any friends and no one likes them. And you know what? Most time when people come for you, right? When like especially strangers, you're like, what's going on in your life?
right.
Do you need a friend? I'll be your friend. Like we can be cool. We can be cool. You're just coming out hating for no reason.
Yeah.
Now, Grace, I want to ask you this question. Because you have littles. How do you talk to your littles about not allowing other people's words and opinions affect them?
I have one very sensitive child and one child who just like blows everything over. And so for my sensitive child, I tell her that people can say things and they don't necessarily mean them a certain way. They can be trying to say something else, but the wrong words come out. So when someone says something to you, you have to think about who you are and what you believe, and if that is the same as your beliefs. And so I'm wording it weird because I'm on the spot, but just basically asking her if what they're saying aligns with the person that she is, what our beliefs are and our morals. And if it does align, then and it hurt, then okay, let's reflect as to why. And if it doesn't align, then it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with you. It's just something that came out of someone's mouth and it's just words. And I always tell her though, I was like, that does not give you an opportunity to say something mean back. I said, you always still have to be polite. Because I get it. In frustration, we act out. We can respond to haters. We can do all these things. But honestly, it's an effort that's wasted. It's not necessary. It just riles them up more. It gives them the attention that they wanted from saying something mean or hurtful. So your best bet is to not say anything, which would be kind. That's our rules in our house. And for my other daughter, I don't really have to tell her anything. She's just like, they said that, but that's not true. Like she knows herself and she's confident in herself and she's like, whatever.
You're like, okay, that's a them problem.
Or she'll like out loud be like, sometimes people are mean, and then she just like walks off. So they're sitting there in their thoughts like, oh, was I being mean?
Like, oh, was that?
Yeah.
And you do sometimes have to, before you respond or react to someone's words, you do have to, I say, relax, relate, release.
Yes, absolutely.
Just pause for a moment. Don't. Because, sometimes you be feeling,
yeah. For sure.
Sometimes. But we're going to come back and finish this discussion here in a minute. But we're
You
going
mean
to
to tell me
go to.
there ain't no way? You mean to tell me there ain't no way?
Okay, so today we are talking about making breakfast ahead of time and freezing them later. And I believe there's a video that's going to happen at some point here. But my video explains how you make pancakes in the morning or whatever time of day that you have time. And you're going to cool them on a cooling rack. Once they're cooled, you're going to stick them in a bag. And the key is to use wax paper in between. Dollar Tree has perfect little wax squares that you can place. And then
Okay,
you
for all
put
my
the next
viewers
layer
out
of
there
pancakes
who
so they
like
don't
to
stick
meal
together in
prep,
your
here's
freezer.
a quick way to
Go.
freeze your pancakes. You're going to make them in the pan, cool them on a cooling rack. Once they're cool, you're going to place them into your Ziploc bag, and then in between each layer, you're going to put a wax paper sheet, and then you're going to stack your cold pancake right on top. You close the bag, seal it up airtight, and then freeze it, and you're good to go until you want another pancake.
And that's my There Ain't No Way for today. And one last tip is you just microwave those on a microwave safe plate for 30 seconds and you're good to go. That's it.
And Grace, let me tell you something. This tip has saved me some money. And what? It's because my husband and Helen, they're like, you don't, oh, it's Helen who tells me, you don't make breakfast before I leave for school. Because, girl, I'm asleep. That's why I don't make breakfast before you leave for school. So I was like, you know what? 2025, I'm going to make you breakfast, grab and go. And she's like, okay. And I told my husband something for you too. He's like, I don't want no frozen waffles, da da da. I'm like, okay. But this will not be these will be freshly made pancakes. He's talking about the box.
Yeah, the box ones get soggy. These do not get soggy. Mind you, though, mine are sourdough pancakes and they're fluffier and they hold better. But you can use that with any pancake mix as well.
Oh, wait a minute. You gonna give us the recipe?
Let me perfect it and get some videos and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, because look, I have my paper and pencil.
Yeah, we'll bring it probably in a couple weeks.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Sounds good. Are you ready for fear?
I'm ready. I'm
I'm
excited.
ready.
Me too.
I'm like, woo. And you know what, Grace? I forgot to pop this up while you were talking. So you have to tell people about.
Sprinkle some happy in your coffee. Yeah, I talked about it last week too, but every time you feel like you're having a crappy day or things just aren't going the way you want it to go, just remember there's always ways to sprinkle some happy in your crappy. And then you can get your cup to remind you of that every day. So click the code.
Scan the code. I said
Yeah,
scan
it. I said click, scan your code. I'm used to click the link.
You know, we're being a little, we're catching up with the time.
We're getting there. We switched it up from links to QR codes.
Hey, you know, we just moving up in the world. That's all. That's all. But let's go back to our topic.
Yes.
Do words hurt? How do you how do you go about handling yourself and others? Like if there's a loved one who's just completely out of pocket that hurts you, how do you handle that?
That's a tough question because I don't think I've really been in one of those situations where it's been so. I think it depends on your personality and kind of your role in the family and how you go about, because I'm very direct. I'm very like leadership role. I'm very outspoken. People know my opinions, not in a rude way, but they just know like what my values are, what I believe in, those type of things. And so I don't really feel like anybody has like said something directly to me for me to react in a certain way. Now, I know that there's other people in my family who are the opposite of that, and they're very quiet and very this, and I see them getting like stepped on per se or being told things, and I'm just like, that's not cool. And so I guess I'll insert myself and being like, that was a little mean, or be like, why are you saying stuff like that? Like, I'm not afraid to call someone out outright for being rude, because I just don't think that's how you should treat other people. Now I will stay in my lane if they're both going at it and they're both saying things, and that's on you. Like, you can handle yourself. But if someone's onto someone, I will be like, hey, like, that's not cool, or hey, let's take a break, or changing the subject or things like that. But me personally, I don't think I've had a situation where someone's told me like something super out of pocket. Or maybe I haven't realized that it is such a big thing because I'll correct it right away. I don't know. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's important to correct people
Mm-hmm.
immediately, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those situations. If you allow people to talk to you a certain way
Mm-hmm.
repetitively, that's what
Right.
they're going to continue doing. But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, the first time you get out of line with me
Mm-hmm.
or make me feel some kind of way, and as you said, different personalities, but even with different personalities, hey, if you are hurting me, I need to let you know
Right.
your words hurt. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it's not even the words, it's the tone. Like, hey,
Yeah.
let's check this tone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need a timeout? Because I need you
Yeah.
to adjust your tone with me.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
You realize we both grown. Okay,
Right.
we both grown, and you coming at me
Mm-hmm.
the wrong way.
Right.
But yeah, but if I'm around someone else who has been mistreated, depends on the situation. Most likely, I'm going to just sit back, as you said, stay in my lane. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to observe, and I'll pull the individual to the side. Hey, you good?
Mm-hmm.
But if the other person is just a straight up bully, all right, look,
Yeah.
like, look, I know y'all hear sweet Sybil from East Tennessee. That's hey y'all, but that 901 Sybil will come out. That man, y'all, hey, what you doing? You need to stand down. No, I am not violent and I'm not confrontational, but I don't have a problem speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
I will speak up if
Yes.
someone's out of pocket.
I agree.
Because I actually, this had to do with me, but we were stationed in Japan, and I will never forget this day. This went on for months. Every morning, walked my daughter to school. She was in kindergarten, and there was a group of moms every morning. Oh, I didn't know this was a fashion show. What? I had on a pair of jeans. I did have heels. I wore heels every day, but this is what I wore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this was a fashion show. All right, whatever. And then it was, oh, does she ever eat? You need to eat. And they got really bold and approached me numerous of times and was like, you need to eat. I ignored it. Hey. Then finally one day I was like, do you not ever eat? Like, I was done. I was just done. Now, that was rude of me, right? That was rude of me. That was rude. I'm sorry. That was rude. But all the other days, I would just kind of laugh it off. I'm like, oh, yeah, no. I had to, like, eventually the 901 had to come out because they didn't take the hint. But funny enough, a few weeks went by, and one of the ladies and we ended up having a side conversation about it. And to this day, we are Facebook friends. I don't see her, but we are Facebook friends, and we do interact from time to time. Still to this day. But, we had a little conversation. Squashed it, let her know, hey, those words, they hurt. They hurt me. I was extremely self-conscious about my size growing up. I was a little thing. I was. People used to call me olive oil and Twiggy. And those words bothered me well into my adulthood. Where now I'm like, and what? Yeah, I am going to sit down, eat 5 of these burgers, and then have 6 milkshakes. And what?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at these comments. Sorry.
I think,
Do you see them?
yeah.
I see them on my phone, but
Yeah, I can see them on the screen.
oh, so Nai's over here. She doesn't mind anyone's tone because I'm listening the word. Sometimes nice, nasty people. Yes, the nice, nasty people. Yeah, they can get you real messed up. It's kind of like and bless your heart.
Yeah.
That Southern charm. And bless your heart. And we all know what it means.
It's just like backhanded compliments, right? Like there's something in there that, they won't outwardly be rude, but they're going to slide it in there. And that's when you know that those people don't matter. Because they also don't.
I prefer you to just be outwardly rude with me. Just come on.
The backhanded compliments, so like sliding it in there, that's what's going to get me riled up and probably say something I shouldn't say. Now, the people who are like outright rude, I'll be like, all right, you're like, it don't matter. You're just a rude person, like whatever. But when you're just like trying to slide it, I'm like, like, let's be a grown up and really say it if you want to say it. Those are the things that tick me off.
It's like, we're all grown. Use your words. We can use our words. We're all grown. Say what you need to say. All right, we're going to go to our next segment.
Signs save a life. Watch Stroke Talks. Know the signs save a life. Watch Stroke Talks.
All right. So in today's segment of Stroke Talks, I want to let you know this because this is very important. And this also explains why it's important for you to know the signs and be fast. Approximately 1.9 million brain cells die every minute that a stroke goes untreated. So by knowing the signs, you know the symptoms, you know that someone is having a stroke, you call 911, emergency treatment can begin, getting them to the hospital, administering any medication, doing surgery, whatever it is that needs to be done. I did put a QR code at the top for Stroke Talks. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to an article over at www.stroketalks.com that talks more about the brain cells. All righty. And we are back with Miss Grace. Oh, I got to turn her camera back on.
There I am.
I'm learning this system, girl. I'm learning this system.
It's all good.
Do you have anything else to say about our topic, or any of our viewers have a quick question about our main topic?
I think my last little bit is to not focus so much on other people's words, but make sure to reflect on your own first, because you're going to be a reflection of what you receive as well.
Sorry, I couldn't swallow my water. It was bad. I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna go to our final segment. Are you ready, Grace?
I'm
Do you
ready.
know what that segment is going to be about this week?
I don't.
Okay, to be fair, I don't tell Grace what the segment is going to be. This is a new segment for us. So I didn't tell her what the topic was. But the real military spouse tea.
Wait, did you ask me what the segment was or what the topic was?
I did say the segment. I meant
Oh,
the
my
topic.
bad. I was thinking topic. I was like, I don't know what we're talking about. My bad. I knew what the segment was, just not the topic.
You knew what I meant.
My bad. I was thinking about what you meant, not what you said. See? Words.
Words matter. even when they're not being mean or when they're not meant to hurt.
Yes,
Sometimes
words
it's
matter.
what you're saying. Because you know what? But that goes to show that there is oftentimes misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
People can misunderstand you.
Yes.
And the person may not be meaning to hurt you in any way. Their words are not meant to hurt or harm you, but you just misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Importance of not popping off.
Yes.
And to have a conversation before to pause, have a conversation before you react. Because, hey.
Yep.
I mean, again, had nothing to do with hurting you, but just.
Right. Yeah, just words in general.
Yeah.
All right, next segment. Ready, go.
Here we go. So, commissary. Do you tip or not tip the baggers? That is the question. And for folks who are wondering, so the real military spouse tea segment is always specifically about military topics that I scour the Facebook groups or things that are talked about in my own circle. Just saying, these are the things, right? So tipping the baggers at the commissary. Do you?
Yes. Well, I don't shop at the commissary anymore, but when I do shop at the commissary or did shop at the commissary, yes, I tip the baggers. Did I like it? No. Because honestly, I could bag my own stuff. This is my problem with it. If it was my choice and I can choose to have someone bag my stuff, then I would obviously tip them. But I don't have the choice to say, don't bag my stuff. I don't want to tip. Do you see what I'm saying? At least at the last, okay, the commissary in Camp Pendleton, up until like a few years ago, all the lanes had baggers and they automatically bagged your stuff. So you automatically have to tip them. Then a year before we left, they finally opened a lane that you can go through where you can bag your own things and then you don't have to tip anybody. So I had to tip. Like I had no choice until they opened the lane where you can bag your own stuff.
So wait a minute. So at Pendleton, every lane had its assigned bagger to that particular.
Correct. Yes.
Because I don't shop at the commissary often.
Right.
Like hardly ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't recall. Again, it's been forever. It's been ages since I've shopped at a commissary that there was a bagger assigned to a particular.
Yeah. So in Pendleton, which is the only place that we even use the commissary, every lane had a bagger. And like if that bagger walked out, another bagger would also take that lane until the bagger came back. from putting the groceries in someone's car. And so you didn't have a choice. Someone was always bagging your stuff, like I said, until they made the express lanes where you can bag your own things. Yeah. I think you should tip them. I mean, they only get paid tips. So, and they're helping you. So I think, yes, you should tip them. Yes, I tip them. Did I want to? No, to be honest. But yeah.
Hey, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, since we're being honest.
Always honest.
Oh, well, yeah, we're always honest. Sometimes to a point that, it's like afterwards, no, Sybil, why would you say that? I'm like, oh, just.
That's how I feel.
But when I don't shop at the commissary, like I'm trying to think. Well, we don't have a commissary here. We have an exchange, but they do have some groceries. The cashier bags, or you bag yourself. I usually bag myself. While they're scanning, I'm like, let me bag. But again, I don't even go to base here. I go to the local grocery stores here in Bahrain. I'm like, I'm not driving to base to go grocery shopping. If we need something, I send my husband a message with the smiley face. Please, dear, can you pick up? Da-da-da, da-da-da. But I'm trying to think back to any of in San Diego, I went to the commissary twice. In the 2 years we were there, I went twice because there were grocery stores closer to my house.
Yeah.
So, I know people are like, oh, you save money when you go to the commissary, but do I really? By the time I pay for gas to get to the commissary and my time, that's all valuable to me.
Yeah.
But if I do shop at the commissary, I will admit, I don't carry cash. So I do believe in tipping, but there have been times, again, I don't go to the commissary often, that I'm like, oh snap, I don't have any change to tip you.
Our cashiers in Pendleton had no shame. I love them. And they would be like, do you want cash back to tip? Out loud. So what do you do? Say no? Sure, give me $20. And then they'll split it. They'll give you 5s and 1s because they're expecting you to tip the bagger. So there's no way out in Pendleton. Well, now there is with their other lanes, but there wasn't.
Well, I will say I don't use a bank card. So I'm like, I don't have my bank card.
Mm-hmm.
I use my Amex or whatever other credit card. So I'm like, oh, I will bag myself. And I prefer to bag myself because I am I'm the person at the grocery store that I have everything arranged in my buggy. And I place it on the conveyor belt a certain way because I want it bagged
a certain way. I feel that.
And where did you tip a bagger? You said in BH. What's BH, Nishita? Are you saying in Bahrain? Ain't no baggers in Bahrain. There's the cashier who will very quickly just. But no, I used to work at. I'm gonna say the name of the store that I used to work at in high school, Food City. And okay, this is on the subject of bagging or tipping your bagger, the commissary. So I worked in the cash room. So I counted all the money, did all the deposits, right? But there wasn't a cashier leaving. There wasn't anything to do. So I would go out and I had my favorite cashiers. I would go out and talk to the cashiers and I would bag groceries sometimes. And I loved bagging. This was when I was 16, 17. So 30 years ago, I would find someone who had a large order or an elderly person. and bag their groceries just so I could take it out to the car. And I would disappear for like 30 minutes. Where's Sybil? I was helping a customer put their groceries in the car. I'm just out there just riding on the back of the carts through the and some would tip, which was nice, but I never expected it. But at the commissary, I do try to remember to take cash and tip when I go. But again, I'm not a commissary shopper.
Me neither.
It's never been convenient for me. We've never lived close enough to the base for it to make sense to me. And I will admit, I try to avoid seeing people from my husband's work. That sounds bad. Does that sound bad?
I think that's its own topic in itself. We can talk about like separating work-life balance in the military.
Yeah, we'll make that a whole other topic for sure. But tip your baggers. But if you forget, it's okay. It's okay. Like there was one bagger. I will say there was a bagger in Virginia at Fort Belvoir. If I forgot, like if he would come over and tip, it was him and it was a man and a woman. They would kind of take turns bagging for me because I think they just knew. They're just like, this lady. And we would go out and they would talk to me. We're just chatting. I was like, oh, you know what? I don't have any change today, but I will come back and I would make a special trip back and give them a tip. And it was really because I liked them as a human being, right? And they were like, oh, don't worry about the tip. Except the one gentleman, he was retired. He had retired from the military and he was doing that part-time. I stopped tipping him because he asked me why I kept buying plants every month. And he's like, it's because you keep killing them. I was like, yeah. He's like, you take the plant home and it dies, so stop.
Oh man.
So I stopped tipping him. I was like, I don't come here often, I know, but when I do come, you always checking me about my plants. But anywho, this went longer than I wanted it to. Like, I don't know why I'm still talking about tipping at the commissary, but I don't know. It just got me going. We don't even have a commissary, so. But anywho, words don't, other people's opinions of you do not matter. Know who you are. And my slogan, know you, be you, love you. Know who you are, be who you are, love who you are, and don't let other folks' words affect your day. And I'm going to put up my little QR code too for your know you, be you, love you mug. Go ahead, scan it, and order it today. If you have nothing else, Grace, I have nothing else. It's a wrap. I got to go. Bro, I got to go to the airport.
Well, hurry.
I got to go pick up my cousin. I really don't want to pick her up.
Well, that's on live TV.
Don't. The Sibster. I don't. I don't.
Got it.
I could just leave her there. I'm going to leave her at the airport. My husband invited her to come because he felt bad for her. I don't feel bad for her. She's going to get on my nerves. What she going to do? But anywho, folks, y'all have a lovely day. I'll go to the airport. I have 15 minutes to get there. I got it.
Better hurry.
Good night. Or good day, whatever time it is where you are. Shoot. Bye. Like, follow, share. Tell your friends.